Everyone's invited.
Let's get on it!
G'day, cheeky dogs. Let's talk about the 3 new trailers we got for the Bluey episode, The Sign, and all the little Easter eggs and things that we found in them. And we're going to be talking about whether Frisky is getting cold feet at the wedding, the confirmation now that Brandy is definitely pregnant in this episode, some of the new mixed breed characters that we can see in the background, as well as more confirmation on the theory that Bluey and her family are selling their house and moving.
Everything will work out the way it's supposed to, Bluey.
So, the 3 trailers that we got was one from ABC Kids in Australia, which was like a full-length shot one, as well as some of the ones they had on Instagram and Facebook. Now, these ones were geo-locked to Australia only, so you couldn't see them overseas unless you had a VPN. The VPN I use is NordVPN. I have my own affiliate code here. It's Margie. I'll leave a link here and a link down below if you ever want to use it. And also if you want to use it so you can see Bluey the Sign like the minute it gets released in Australia, because that was the other confirmation thing that we got was the Disney Plus trailer confirming that yes, it will release on Sunday, April 14th, which is about 10 hours after it's going to air in Australia. So watch out for spoilers with that one. The third trailer though as well that we got is from the Bluey official channel as well. And each of these 3 trailers all had something slightly different in each of them. But the ABC Australia one is the only one where we get the full shot of Brandy pregnant as well. So I will be getting into that. So I figured we'd go kind of like section by section, and we're going to start off with the pre-wedding section first. Now this is where we get confirmation that the location of the wedding is going to be at the Healer house. It's going to be in the backyard, so a typical backyard wedding. We get this picture of Frisky kind of on the phone, it looks like, and Stripe pulling across their actual like arch for the wedding, Bandit doing some lights, Chili just cleaning up. We also see a scene of Trixie teaching the girls how to like walk down the aisle as flower girls, which was so cute. And then it kind of sort of leads into maybe Frisky getting the cold feet part. So we see some pictures of the girls where they're on like the front porch and at the front and just being like really like shocked, like going, what? And then this, I'm pretty sure, leads into them getting into the car with Chili. So it sort of explains, you know, why they have the headbands on, because they were practicing beforehand. And we also get the scene then of Bluey, and her voice sounds so different. Like for a moment, I thought it might have even been a different voice actor. This is what it sounds like.
This is the best day of all my life.
So obviously here, she's excited because she's sitting in the front seat for the first time. So Bluey is growing up, guys. She is all grown up. She's 7 years old, which means that she can actually sit in that front seat. But that's obviously what she's so excited about. And what she's talking about in the car, she's so excited and she's so happy. I think it's because she's sitting in the front seat for the first time.
This is the best day of all my life.
But let me know what you think of her voice though, if you think it is a different voice actor or if she's just gotten older. So we then see them going into like the next section, which is the Mount Coot-tha section. And the ABC Australia trailer versus the Bluey one actually show 2 different scenes of the Mount Coot-tha from like different times in the day, because you can tell by the sky coloring, but also by the different dogs that are in it. So the first one is from the Bluey official trailer, and this is the one where we can actually see Frisky at the Mount Coot-tha lookout, which is obviously why they're there. And she looks either pretty mad or very deep in thought. And that's why I was thinking that maybe this is her having cold feet for the wedding.
Now we shall marry.
And the princess replied, no thanks.
You know, that's why they're going to find her, because they don't know where she is, or she just wants some alone time. Maybe she's thinking about stuff with Bosco. Who knows?
Bosco's her true love.
Not anymore.
But true love is forever.
Well,
Let me know in that comment section down below, though, why you think that she might be there. But I think it's really interesting that they did this, but it is another really cool way of showing an iconic place in Brisbane, which I really loved. Now, we see a picture of the girls, like, looking through the lookout glasses, and this is where we then get the scene of the Brisbane CBD. So, again, I'll put, like, a comparison photo here so you guys can see it. And I love that they always add, like, these iconic things in. And even just, like, the whole location of Mount Coot-tha itself, there's no, like, really good side-by-side pictures, but I tried to do my best to sort of show you how much this looks like the actual thing in real life. And again, just kudos to the animators for showing that. We then see all the girls saying hooray and then running towards the center. So I'm assuming at this point they're saying hooray because they've found Frisky and then they're running towards her. Now, before we get into the car ride home section, I do just want to point out some of the really cool background characters we see in both of these Mount Coot-tha shots, because again, like I said, we see a lot of new mixed breed couples and mixed breed dogs. We see the library dogs from the episode Promises, where one of the ladies from Gotta Be Done, they got to voice this character. But we see that they're a mixed breed couple with a baby. We see another mum with a very different looking child as well. So again, more of that sort of idea of mixed breeds coming into Bluey. We see a lot of background characters that we have seen before, like the boxer dad and child, as well as Juniper's brother and the Pomeranian dog we see with them. We also see some of Bingo's classmates like Bentley and Harley, as well as Juniper, her mum, as well as the wheelchair dog as well. And I especially love the Chippy and Cherry little scene that we get to see of them looking at the lookout as well. I'm so glad we got to see them reoccurring again as characters in Bluey. And there were, of course, also a few other extra background characters that we haven't seen before, and I always love when they add in like these new designs for dogs for background characters. characters. So let's get into the car ride home. Like this section seems to be when they're driving home, and we hear Sock saying that she needs to go to the toilet. So again, Sock is older, she's talking more, she's apparently completely potty trained as well.
I need the toilet. Oh, socks.
And I think this scene links in with the previous teaser trailers that we saw with the police car, because I feel like Socks is saying she needs to go to the toilet, so maybe Chili is rushing or speeding, and then that's why the police pull her over, and we get to that park, which we saw in the teaser trailers. Now, this links up with some of the Disney Plus trailer scenes that we saw, so we see Chili looking up at a sign, which they obviously slightly edited, but the background looks like it's in the same location. And of course, we know Chili's like angrily messaging, so assumedly, while Socks is in the potty, like she can't drive. And then in the Disney Plus one again, we see them saying hooray at like the car park section, so obviously someone has come to pick them up so that they can get back to the wedding. So that brings us into the next section of the trailers, which is the wedding in action. And the first thing we see is some of possibly Frisky's family members. So we see the girls like sitting on their chairs, swinging their legs, but in the background, you see a couple of new characters, and two of which look a lot like Cocker Spaniels. So perhaps it is Frisky's mum and dad maybe, or sister, who knows. We get a really funny moment of Mort and Uncle Stripe laughing together, and there's like food literally flying out of Stripe's mouth. We then get a scene of Bandit and Chili looking very shocked. I'm not really quite sure what this could be, whether this is like before the meals are served, maybe during like the sermon, maybe Bosco stands up to like say no to the wedding. Who knows? I'm sure we'll find out.
Bosco and I aren't friends anymore.
Who's Bosco?
No one. Next question.
But then more importantly, we get the table scene where they've just eaten the cake and Uncle Stripe gets up to say like, let's get on it, as in the dance floor, of course.
Everyone's invited.
Let's get on it!
But this is where we see the picture of Brandy, and she is pregnant. And I cannot believe I got this right. This was like a whim that I had this thought that I was like, maybe I was wrong about the butterfly. And because it's with Bingo, it's about the red healers. And I did that whole video yesterday about the theory about Brandy being pregnant. And literally like hours later, I was right. I could not believe it. But like I said, this scene is only in the Australia ABC Kids trailer. It's not in the international Disney Plus one or on the official Bluey one. They actually kind of like cropped it. But the ABC Kids one, which is on YouTube, again, you need a VPN to get to it. That one shows it. And you can see she's drinking water compared to everyone else who looks like they're drinking like either wine or something like that. So I could not believe it. And I think this also links into another scene that we see, which I'll talk about in a second. But let me know in that comment section down below what you think about Brandy officially now being pregnant, and who do you think the dad is? Do you think we'll find out? Do you think it's IVF? Let me know down below. So the last like in action wedding scene we see is the dancing scene, and the colors of this are so beautiful. Like it's this pink background and just focusing on the girls having a good time dancing. We also got like the official like movie poster for this, which is that dance scene as well, but with like a purple background and the butterfly in it, of course. But that's sort of all the in action wedding shots we see. So now we're going to move on to sort of the second section, which is about like Bluey and her family selling the home and some of like the stuff that backs that up, as well as like some of the other extra little scenes. So the first thing we have is a beautiful scene of Bluey sitting on the front porch with the red earphones on. And this actually links up to the Bluey album, the first ever one, because we'd never seen this scene before. So I love that they put this in for the sign. It's just such a beautiful nod to the album. But the voiceover that we hear is from Brandy, and this is what she says.
Everything will work out the way it's supposed to, Bluey.
So I definitely think that this is sort of, you know, talking to Bluey and like letting her go through her feelings of the idea of maybe they're selling their house and moving and everything like that. And we do see another like scene of Mackenzie in the classroom, and we've seen that scene before where Bluey's obviously telling her class that she's moving and they're all really shocked about it. We get a new scene though this time of Mackenzie talking about stuff, and it seems like he's talking about the book. But there is one other scene of like Bandit and Chili from the Disney Plus trailer of them standing in front of the house like holding hands, and you know, this could be them like looking at how happy and like how beautiful their house is for the wedding, or it could just be them like thinking maybe let's keep the house. I don't know. I'm really hoping it's for let's keep the house. Now, as for the other little scenes that we saw, the one I really think is important is Chili like opening up a box, and I think this is a box of all the nursery stuff that we saw from the episode Bedroom at the very start of season 3 when they were packing up the nursery and everything like that. I think she kept some of the stuff, and I think she's opening it up now to give it to Brandy. I would love to see that, but let me know if that's what you think it is down below. We also have some callbacks to the episode Dance Mode with the Chippies.
Is Bingo gonna eat that chip?
No, I think she's finished.
Hey, where's my chip? Dad ate it. What?
So we see a scene of like Bingo playing with a chippy on her mouth. They're eating fish and chips, which is very Australian. We haven't really seen that much in the show of them like eating fish and chips. We of course also hear the girls through the whole trailer for like the Disney Plus one and like the short ABC ones singing like the Rad and Frisky sitting in a tree.
A-I-S-S-I-N-G. First comes love, then comes marriage.
Tiddly little dinosaur sitting in the carriage.
Yeah.
Also, while we're driving in the car with Bandit, we do also see Fido and Honey as background characters, and a conversation between Bandit and Bluey saying like, you know, are you okay? Like, you seem really happy. And she's saying, yeah. So obviously, I think this might be like getting over that emotion from the very start scene of her understanding them selling the house. And of course, we also see the title card. So it is officially the gnomes in their like wedding gear with the sign. And that's obviously what they're going to be using for this episode. So cheeky dogs, that was everything. Literally everything. As I mentioned, the sign is going to be a release on Sunday, April 14th in Australia on ABC iView, which means for, say, for example, North America, that would actually be airing on like Saturday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I will be doing a live stream watch along with Pugly. We can't obviously put it on the internet because that would be copyright. But if you do want to watch it with us, rather than waiting until the next day to watch it on Disney Plus, or if you just want to watch any of the other Australian ABC iView episodes like Dad Baby and things like that, like I mentioned, you can use NordVPN for that. That's what I use. That's what I will be using to watch it. I have an affiliate code here, and I said I'll link it down below and in the description box as well. That way you can watch the episode with us when it actually airs rather than like the day later. Or you can watch any of those other episodes like Dad Baby and the uncensored episodes as well. But until then, cheeky dogs, let me know all your thoughts and feelings down below in the comment section. And don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that bell for notifications so you know when I'll be releasing any other Bluey videos. Until then though, I've picked you out a few other videos that maybe you would like to watch, and I'll see you all in another video. Mwah! Bye!